Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at day 2 of QTRIC's Low Carbon Smart Mobility Technology Conference. This is our second sponsor exhibit of the day, and we are happy to feature ZEV Clean Power. My name is Daniel C., he, him pronouns, and I'm the Zero Emissions and Autonomous Transit Project Coordinator here at QTRIC. And for this sponsor exhibit, we are joined by Gara Hay, President of MTB Transit Solutions. We'll just wait a few seconds for Gara to get on camera. And so with that, I'd like to welcome him to the virtual stage, and over to you, Gara.
Great. Hi, Daniel. Thanks very much. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming on today, and thank you for QTRIC for putting on this great show. My name is Gara Hay. I'm the president of MTB Transit Solutions in Milton, Ontario. I'm pleased to provide everybody today information about the launch of MTB's new exciting service called ZEV Clean Power. Today, I'll share some of the background of MTB and explain and update our new service to help transit operators achieve their greenhouse gas reduction goals sooner. So to get started, I want to share a little bit of overview on who MTB is. So MTB is Canada's leading repair, refurb, and now repower specialist. We've been in business since the mid-1970s, providing service to transit operators both in Canada and the United States. We've worked on over 6,000 buses in our history, more than anybody. And we've done work on every make and model in the industry experience. We have a staff of over 70 employees, including 55 highly skilled workers, many of them who have been with us for more than 10 years. We have a 110,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility based in Milton, Ontario. We're just off Highway 401, 60 bays, and we're on 10 acres of land. We are ISO 9001 certified, which illustrates our commitment to quality work. So back in 2018, we were very excited to see the transit industry moving from diesel to clean energy power, and we wanted to be a part of it. So we applaud transit's and OEM's quick move to clean power and aggressive GHG reduction goals, and we want to help. So back then, we created Canada's first diesel to battery electric conversion service. So what it is, it's a service to support transit operators' goal to achieve GHG reductions, and we're trying to do it so you can get there quicker and do it much more cost effectively. So we developed ZEV Clean Power to convert middle-aged diesel buses to battery electric buses. So we've developed a diesel to battery electric demo with the support of NRCan and their IRAP fund. This bus is near complete and expected to be done this summer. The goal of this demo bus was to help MTB prove out the concept to ourselves and to our customers, plus build out our supply chain and our own skill set. This is the program. This illustrates exactly what we're doing. So on the left, we're going to remove the diesel components. So the diesel engine, the transmission, the fuel tank, steering box, that comes out and it's replaced with the components on the right. So batteries, traction motor, regenerative braking, electric steering. So we replace the components basically pound for pound. It's important to note in our conversion that the gross vehicle weight does not change and the passenger capacity or seat layout does not change. So the bus comes in as a diesel bus, and in about 6 months, that bus will leave looking the exact same, but have clean propulsion in it. That is our program. As we started to build out our supply chain, we quickly realized that Canada has a great knowledge base for electric vehicles. And we're proud to say our program is truly a Canadian solution. So we've gone through and we're able to select companies such as IVI in Quebec as doing our engineering. Our traction motors are being assembled in Boucherville by TM4. In Ontario, the assembly work is done here in Milton by MTB. Our batteries were assembled in Mississauga by Electrovaya. TCM is an offspring of the University of Toronto Engineering Department. They're doing telematics and some testing for us. And we're also going to be working with the University of Ontario in Durham to do testing on the bus as well. So we feel this is a really great addition to this service. We're going to be able to create jobs and maintain that knowledge base within Canada. We're also working with the local schools in our area. For example, we want to eventually bring the engineering in-house. So we're going to be working with the University of Waterloo's engineering department. And we have ongoing apprenticeship programs with Centennial College in Scarborough and Mohawk College in Stony Creek to be able to start creating apprentice jobs for these new roles. When you look at this repower project, there's a really strong environmental angle to this. And again, the goal is to help transit operators achieve GHG reduction goals sooner. So the repowering of the bus can be done in conjunction with the structural refurbishment. So as the buses need a midlife refurbishment, in or around the same time, we can also do the propulsion change. And recycling of these buses keeps the existing fleets on the road, because these buses are still very useful. So let's keep them on the road longer, but let's have the propulsion be clean. And this doesn't mean we're going to be replacing old buses with new. We're going to be reusing the existing buses and giving them a second life, which is really beneficial to society. So the benefits of our repowering project are the same as benefits that you see from a new OEM bus. There's zero tailpipe emissions, and the bus is much cheaper to operate than diesel. A couple of the benefits that repower include is we're going to be able to extend the life of the bus by up to 50%, and we're going to be able to get this bus on the road for you in 6 months, and the upfront capital cost to do this bus is much cheaper if you are comparing it to new buses. And the benefits of repowering are several. And for medium and large size transit operators, the program complements your existing new purchase program. This program was never developed to try to replace medium or large size transit operators from buying new buses. So as you're buying new electric or hydrogen buses, we can come in and clean up some of the older diesel buses that you may have on your fleet, again, accelerating the GHG reduction program sooner. Maybe for a smaller transit operator that has 20, 30, 40 buses who may not have the infrastructure or the plan to begin a large-scale conversion to electric, this may be the way to introduce electric vehicles into your fleet. We feel this program is much easier on supply chain. So the buses that you've used for years, the New Flyer Nova buses, are going to be returned to you. So your operators, your mechanics, and your parts supply are already established for these existing buses. So we think that conversion to this bus will be much smoother for your supply chain. One interesting aspect of this is up to 100% of the capital costs that you pay to have this conversion will be recovered in the remaining life of the bus on a reduction in fuel costs and a reduction in your maintenance costs. So although capital up at the front, your operating costs will be much lower for the remaining life of that bus. I'll explain to you in a bit. There's great funding and financing available from Infrastructure Canada and the Infrastructure Bank of Canada that I'll talk about. And also, just to let you know, we're also working on a diesel to hydrogen fuel cell conversion now. That's very exciting, and I'm willing to talk about that soon too. Here's an update on our plans on our demo bus. Our bus is really close to being finished. The picture up on the top left shows the battery placements on the roof. The two pictures on the right show the batteries and where the traction motor and the battery has now gone into the back of the bus, where it replaced the diesel motor. This bus will be ready to be shown to you either in our facility, or we could bring that bus out to your transit facility sometime very soon this year. While COVID was going on and our supply chain started to slow down, we took that opportunity to outreach to provincial and federal government agencies. And the idea was to try and prevent delays. So if a transit operator is going to look for funding or financing to the government for repowering, we wanted to try to break down those walls so that the government was aware of their program. So before Christmas, we met one-on-one with Minister McKenna and her infrastructure team in Ottawa. She was not aware of this program, and she loved it. She thought it was a great program, great idea. And after the presentation, she confirmed that transit agencies that are looking to procure funding through Infrastructure Canada for repowering, they will be able to use those funds for repowering. She then put us on to the Canadian Infrastructure Bank, who we met with in January this year. And you can see their quote on the side of the screen. They said the same thing. They thought this was a great idea. And they said if a transit operator comes looking for financing through the CIB, that they will allow that financing to be used for the repowering. This is just a bit of a summary on the funding options that we see. So infrastructure with funding, the CIB with financing. And I wanted to highlight this page to talk about the Green Municipal Fund through FCM. And if you have any experience with the Green Municipal Fund, they have a pilot project that they fund. So they will provide up to $500,000 that'll cover half the cost of a pilot project. So again, if a transit's looking to maybe start with 1 or 2 buses as a repower to do a pilot, we think there could be some good opportunity to get funding through the Green Municipal Fund. And if your municipality is less than 20,000 people, that funding can go from 50% up to 80% of your cost covered. So in closing, what I really wanted to say is we believe really strongly in this ZEV program that can provide great environmental and financial benefits to a transit operator. We're very confident that we have the people, the experience, the facility, and the commitment from our ownership group to make ZEV a powerful success. We can repower quickly and cost effectively. And the key point to remember is that much of the upfront cost to repower the bus will be recovered in operational savings by switching over for the remainder of the life of the bus. We have a more detailed presentation that dives into technical specs and the financial modeling that we've created that I think you'll find interesting. So please reach out to myself, to Tom Glover, or through our website, and we'd love to do a more detailed presentation for you.
Great. So thank you so much, Garner, for this very insightful update. How energizing is it to meet with Minister Catherine McKenna? Really well done on that front.
Yeah, thank you. It was really exciting. Thank you.
Exactly. And I'm also really appreciating, this new term repowering that kind of, is a bit more specific than specifically retrofitting itself. So really great on that front. I am seeing a few questions from the audience, and we do have a bit of time. So maybe we can start with this one here. So this person is saying MTB Transit Solutions has a bit of a long history, but it seems that this kind of retrofitting is a bit of a newer initiative. So are you able to tell us a little bit more about what sparked the idea and where you want to take that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, MTB has been around a long time, as I said, and I think we have a good reputation for the quality of work and the quality of people that we have. So when I came into the organization, I knew that we could leverage that experience and that knowledge to a new endeavor. And again, we saw the opportunity because the industry was switching over from diesel to clean propulsion. We thought, again, with our background and our experience, that we thought we could handle this conversion over. And I'm very excited that and very confident that we can do this very effectively.
That's great, and that leads really well to like a couple of the questions that we have here, a bit around what are the parts of the supply chain. So we have one question here from Chris Hill. Do we now have to add TM4 and Electrovia parts as part suppliers? Any insight on that front?
Well, I mean, one thing about a traction motor is there's really not much work to be done on a traction motor. So the TM4 motor is a very sturdy motor with a lot of experience. Really, when we put that motor in, that motor we expect to last basically to the end of the life of that bus. So we don't expect any work on that. On the battery side, the batteries are from Electrovia. Any battery work that'll have to be done is we'll be able to support on that. And again, we expect the batteries to live for basically pretty close to the remainder of the life of the bus. So hopefully there won't be a lot of work done on those battery components.
That's really great to hear. Like I come from a bit more of an infrastructure background, and it's fantastic to hear that we can do something to our existing assets to really extend the full life cycle, the full lifespan of it, almost to the exact same as it was kind of before. So that's great to hear. There's another question here about your expectations in terms of the range for these refurbished buses. Are you able to comment on that?
Yeah, I can. So, the one thing on the range side is, the demo bus that we did has a 300 kilowatt battery. So we're expecting around 220 to 240 kilometers on that bus. Pretty close to what a new OEM bus range will be. Already for our first production bus coming down the line, we've already been able to increase the battery to 380 kilowatts. So we expect that range to go up to 280 to 300 kilometers roughly. One thing that we've been saying is that we feel with this demo bus, because the batteries are such an integral part of the cost of the program, as batteries come down in weight and go up come down in cost and go up in efficiency, we think that this demo bus will have the lowest range and the highest cost, because as we go forward, again, the batteries will become cheaper and the range will become much greater.
Great. It sounds like quite the viable system and something that a lot of transit agencies and other organizations should be exploring.
Yes, we agree. We hope so.
Yeah. So I think we're coming up pretty close to end of time. I just wanted to thank you again, Gara, for your time today, and thank you to the audience for your careful attention. A gentle note that our keynote with City of Montreal is happening next, and we would love to see you at our networking session later this evening. So thanks again, Gara. Thanks for everyone on the call today. Take care and stay well.
Thanks, everybody.